Welcome to the Liberating River, where spiritual freedom meets soul-aligned wealth. I'm your guide, Wanda F. Nesbit. Let's break free, build boldly, and live fully together. Now let's talk about the application. How can we put our intuition into action? Because realize this, that is the only way you can start guiding your abundant life. Is if your intuition is an active player in your life. So, first, I think, let me go back. I'll say it this way. In these three places in your life that I'm about to talk about, I believe intuition will whisper things in your ear so that you can come to decisions more easily. You can come to decisions freely, and you'll be able to feel better as intuition is directing you. So the three places is, of course, career and your career decision. You need your intuition to guide you with this decision. I think intuition will nudge you when an opportunity aligns with you and your purpose. And it's not just about a paycheck. We have been taught more to just do things for a paycheck. But yeah, what about our happiness? We're not alive to be unhappy. We're not alive to feel discombobulated. That's not what we're here for. We're here to enjoy life, to rule. So even in a career decision, you have to develop your intuitive muscle and allow your spirit man to guide you and be that compass, because you don't want to just do something just for the paycheck. You want to do it because it resonates with you. You feel good about it. You don't mind getting up and doing it. That's important. That's key. The next area in our lives, intuition should play a part, relationships. If you allow your intuition to be part of your making your relationship decision, and relationship isn't just romantic, it's platonic as well. You can't allow your energy to be siphoned from your friends and your family and your romantic interests. You just can't. When you develop your intuition, you can sense whether somebody is expanding you, adds value to you, or if they're draining you. And that normally happens even before logic catches on. Think about it. Family, friends, I'll stay in that category. Family or friends, we tend to do stuff just because it's family or friends, and we feel an obligation. But sometimes you have to say no to them. We don't like doing that because we feel awkward. But your intuition will tell you, no, or do this or this. And it might even tell you how to handle stuff, not just the way the person might have been requesting whatever they wanted from you. Because it has to align with you. You have to trust your intuition. And then finally, I'm going to go here, in your finances. Before every choice, I've said it before, ask the questions to yourself. Does this feel expansive or contracting? Does it feel light or heavy? Or is it uh, out of a request or obligation? But of course, when we come to this place of making decisions, we're going to get blocks, right? Whether it's external or it's internal. Because in our own mind, doubt will start whispering. Any type of past conditionings that, we have been influenced by, it'll wake up inside of us and they'll say, play it safe. I don't know if you can trust yourself, that kind of thing. It'll naturally happen. And that's why intuition is important. Because it will be able to help you deflect those, I'll say, barriers. Sometimes those barriers that have been installed inside of us since our youth, so that we can make a wiser decision wherever you stand now in life. Because those decision making patterns back then was good for back then. And it was only based on the knowledge of whomever was feeding you. So for instance, if it was your grandparent, based on their knowledge of a thing during their time, all they can do is pass that to you. But this time, you've experienced enough, you can come to a conclusion. You can remember it and see, hey, maybe it will work. But if you know it's not going to work, your intuition will let you know, and you'll have a peace that happens. Because again, intuition isn't about being fearful. It's about being steady and being peaceful and being wise. It promotes wisdom. So allow your intuition, again, to develop. So that when it comes to your career, when it comes to your relationship, when it comes to finances, you can feel more assured because you feel right about a situation. Or maybe right's the wrong word. You feel that the decision that you have to make is correct. I think that's even better. Because sometimes it's a no versus a yes. Build your intuition. And of course, and even talking about, when you're making your decision, be gentle with yourself, with the external voices. Previously, I was talking about just your memories of how your guardian or your grandparent or whomever was talking to you and sharing information. But I do realize that there are external individuals that can come up in your mind when you're about to make a decision. So you'll start thinking, ooh, how will they react to this? Or what will people think? You have to calm that as well. Because that is a major hindrance to any decision in your life. Intuition is where the breakthroughs come from. Intuition is where your decision making comes from. Yes, all of those elements that I previously just spoke on will be actively in your life, but you have to know how to sift through it so that it doesn't choke your purpose. I recall that Oprah, she said she never makes a major decision without listening for a quiet inner yes. Even Steve Jobs, he believed intuition is more powerful than intellect. And somebody else that I saw, Benjamin Spock, He is known for famously saying, trust yourself. You know more than you think. Listen, when we trust and act on intuition, we don't just make better decisions, we build futures rooted in alignment, courage, and yes, abundance. So where does that leave us? Your intuitive future depends on your next move. And here's how to keep intuition alive long after this episode. Create a feedback loop. You know what that feedback is? You know what that loop is? Trust, act, observe, repeat. Trust, act, observe, repeat. Every time you follow through, confidence grows. Number 2, notice the ripple effects. When you live aligned, your circle benefits, and you know who your circle are, right? It's your family, your friends, your community. They will all feel it. And of course, your finances will expand. Why? Because you have become infectious. Your overflow actually blesses others. So when you get it right, either people are going to catch on, as I used to hear growing up, they would catch on fire themselves, or else they're going to run from you because they can't stand the heat that's coming from you. That is nothing but abundance and life and love. 3, keep the conversation alive. Intuition isn't a one and done deal. It is a continuous stream of breakthroughs. This is a lifelong dialogue with spirit. So feed it. Keep the flame going. And if you don't have the flame or a spark going, start today. It's important. And your future self will thank you. Gary Klein, in The Power of Intuition, calls all of this a skill. He calls this a skill. And just like muscles, it strengthens as we use it. Here's your journaling prompt for this week. Where has my intuition nudged me lately? And what one small action could I take this week to honor it? I'll say it again. Where has my intuition nudged me lately, and what one small action could I take this week to honor? Could you imagine if every person listening to this episode chose just one intuitive nudge and acted on it this week? Could you imagine what would happen? Do you know how infectious it will be? How different your path would be and look like by December of 2025, let alone 2026, because it's right here. Or how different your community will look. Family intuition is not the opposite of logic. It's its partner. Logic gives us structure, but intuition gives us direction. And when we align that inner compass with our financial, emotional, and spiritual lives, we step into true abundance. If today's message resonated with you, share it with someone who's ready to stop overthinking and start flowing in wisdom. And don't forget to grab your episode 7 companion guide in the Liberated Living vault. And let me leave you with this. Your intuition is a compass of truth. Intuition protects you instinctively. Start to build a better relationship with yourself and your intuition. Your future self will thank you. Until next time, keep flowing in freedom. Thanks for flowing with us on the Liberating River. Subscribe, share, and come back next week for more wisdom, wealth, and alignment. Stay free, stay grounded, stay bold.